back to Sunday Chirps, episode 2. We are joined by Luke Judge. We are happy to welcome a longtime teammate and friend, a top 3-point scorer from Rhode Island last year, and now the captain. Happy to have you.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Happy to be here. Love what you're doing.
Appreciate it. So how are you? How's everything going?
Everything's good. School is school, but, hockey's better. Hanging out with the boys is the best.
Love it. Max, what are you up to this weekend?
Went out a couple nights in a row. Now it's Super Bowl Sunday. We have the big game tonight. A lot to say about that later on.
Love it. And Luke, what are you up to this weekend? Any games?
Yeah, we actually just swept Stony Brook this weekend. First time, I believe, since 2011. So that's a big one for us. A couple of the boys back home that definitely we used to play with. Jared, him, Will Kermanic.
Yeah, how's he been? Did you speak to him or?
Yeah, no, I was chatting with him a little bit, here and there on the face-off circle, but all jokes aside, it's game time. Nobody's friends on the ice.
Gotcha.
I was chatting him after the game, and he actually, I guess he was playing with some a sprained wrist or something. He said he's been playing with it for the past week or two, I believe. But yeah, no. Credit to him. I mean, he played a good weekend. He's by far their best player right now, for sure.
I'm surprised he didn't play. Did he play juniors at all? Do you know, or just?
Yeah, I'm almost positive he played Junior Islanders NCDC.
Gotcha.
Before that, though, I know he was with the Avalanche with a bunch of great players. I mean, all those
Lundy
guys.
Was there too. He went to AIC.
Yeah, Lundog was there.
He's a sick puppy.
Yeah, He's playing over at where is he now? He's
American International College in Mass.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he actually, I'm pretty sure he recorded his first point or first goal the other day, like last week or something.
That's good
for him.
Stuff for him.
Is he got a future in the show, or you don't think he'd be able to make it?
I don't know. I mean, listen, you hope for the best for everybody, but by the way it's looking right now, some guys are so damn good, and I don't know. It's hard to keep up with some of those guys. I mean, I can barely keep up with Lundy. So
yeah,
I can't.
He was nasty.
But still, I mean, I give him credit. He's there. He made it. So.
Definitely. D1's a real accolade. So you're playing what? It's the ACHA, right?
Yeah, the ACHA. It's quite the league. I'll give you that. But a lot of people kind of throw a lot of shade on it. I wouldn't say it's the Division 1 level, the D2 level, the D3 level really depends what you're playing. Some schools are a lot more competitive than others. They do different sort of schedules. I know here at URI, obviously, on the team, we practice Monday through Thursday, 4:30 to 6 o'clock. No team workouts. I mean, guys get in the gym on their own. Then games are Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday's off. I mean,
it's a nice schedule.
Really 1 day a week off, and that's pretty much it. And guys that go play juniors, they, listen, drink the Kool-Aid as long as you want, but sometimes you're not going to end up going somewhere. I mean, my dad gave me the option. He was like, "Listen, you can go play juniors, or you can go to school, but you're sure as hell not playing more than 1 year of juniors."
Yeah, I mean, players like, do you remember Lucas Sedlacek? He played aviator with me back in the day.
Did he play, where's he from?
He's from Staten Island, but he was playing aviator, and then he went to Avs with, like, Cormanick, Lundy, and them.
Lucas what?
Sedlacek. He did, 3 years in, Shreveport, I think, and, Texas playing juniors, and I think about to start school now. And also longtime teammate Satimo, he just started school last year. He was playing, NCDC and Junior Isles?
Yeah, Dom. Me and Dom actually joined back up again for, I believe it was his last year of 18s and my first year of 18U. We went on that big trip to Calgary together. It was a great time. We roomed together. It was me, him, and Donskoy. You guys remember Donskoy?
Yeah.
Yes, Ben.
Yeah.
No
Yeah, Don's
way.
was on the cot. Me and Dom had our own beds. It was great. It was good stuff. But yeah, Dom's up at he's at Cortland.
Yo, not too far from you, Grant.
No, not at all.
And then before we jump into like more of the college stuff, you did you play in the Quebec tournament?
Oh no. I mean, like the
12 you won?
yeah, no, hell no.
Gotcha.
I remember like hearing about the tryouts, but wait, what was that? 12U? So what is it, 7th grade?
Sounds about 6th, 7th grade, something like
Yeah.
that.
6th or 7th grade. So yeah, I mean, I remember when I first went to the Gulls, I played for the Gulls my 7th grade year, and I'm pretty sure that's when the tournament was.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I remember hearing about the tournament tryouts and that was but after I think I tried out for the Junior Islanders that year, and I remember I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna even bother. And my dad was like, yeah, you're not making any of those teams.
I think they didn't really like televise it, and not televise, but like kind of get the word out enough. Like even like our aviator team, like they're like Lundy was here, Kormanik, so they're sick players, and just I think since we were a tier 2 team but played tier 1 and 2, they didn't really like kind of get the word out as much, especially in the New York City area. I feel like it was like all like more Eastern Long Island or
Yeah, I
Connecticut.
mean, the New York City area has always been a tough area for hockey. I feel like a lot of guys. If you really think about it, you know, where's Chelsea Pierce? Where Chelsea Pierce is where? It's
New York City.
Midtown West Side.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's on the water, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
excluded from the city. It's not really in the city. I mean, like it is, but you know,
And then there's
it's on the
Skyliners.
outside. It's on the water. So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I feel like for a lot of those kids that live in the city, it's definitely tough for them to play. Definitely tough for them to have access to public rinks, especially.
Yeah.
I remember before I was going to high school, I applied to Xavier, and I was going to go to Xavier. Weren't you going to go, Jared?
Not to Xavier, but I had teammates who went to Xavier.
Yeah.
I was like looking around. I mean, that's the thing too for us in Long Island. Like, there's sick hockey, but like, if you want to go somewhere, like you got to move
You gotta
out.
go
Like,
Yeah, you
Gotta go
do.
far. Same thing. Like when I like for the city kids though, like I almost went to Xavier and I was going to play on the team there, and then they were like, "Oh, you know, we practice in New Jersey." It's like New Jersey. The hell? What the hell is wrong?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Go to Chelsea Pierce. And then they're like, "Oh, well, like we can't get ice there." And it's like, all right, well, I'm going to drive an hour and 45 minutes to practice. No one wants to do that. Pick up a basketball, throw a football, do something else.
that's the thing with hockey. It's not accessible. Like, the rinks are limited. Here in Florida, like, I'm coaching a 12U team. They're tier 3, but I mean, they're a good time. But our games, there's only like 20 teams in the state for 12U. And so what happens is we do these like these mini series every other week. And like, remember we used to go like a Friday night game or a Saturday or Sunday, like we're shipping it to Freeport or anywhere around the island or even like out of state. They have to drive to all their games. Like, we'll play 2 games in like Jacksonville, which is like a 5-6 hour drive.
Oh my.
Yeah, or like Tampa. We played Tampa last weekend, and we played Junior Everblades in Fort Myers. Like, all the teams are like, they're really far apart. So like every weekend's like these like mini tourneys, little round robins, and it's just not as accessible. Forget the price. Have you seen the price of skates?
Oh yeah, dude, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is why it's like no one's
It's always
able
been
to
like
get
that.
in.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was talking to one of the goalies on the team the other day. We were actually just in the gym, and he was showing me his new pads that he's ordering for next year. And I'm just like, yeah, how much is that going to run you? And he's just like, oh, I don't really want to say the number. I actually want to know. And then he was like, $2,000. And I was like,
Oh my God.
he was like, yeah, I just got new skates too. And they were like $1,200. And I was like,
Let me clarify too. New pads, is that including just the pillows, or is that the blocker and glove
it's
too?
the whole setup.
Oh,
It's like all the goalies now, they're doing custom setups. You got to do a custom setup. But apparently, he was saying that the Keeney Blue is like an extra couple $100 to do Keeney Blue, like the Keeney Blue for Rhode Island.
Okay, I heard bikini blue. I was like, is that a color? Is that a style? Like, am I missing
No.
something?
No, Keeney Blue, like the baby blue that your
yeah.
URI uses.
Gotcha.
For that color, I guess it's for the leather is very limited or something.
Hmm.
But
Are
that's
they
why
looking good?
Yeah, they're beautiful pads.
It's a great color too. It's
Yeah,
like
it
a
is.
Carolina blue almost. It's a beautiful one.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we kind of got ripped off in that Jersey showdown thing. We kind of got. I mean, our blues were in the. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Hockey House pod.
I think I've seen them before, but I haven't really listened to them too much.
Yeah. So one of the guys on Syracuse men's hockey, he runs the pod. I'm pretty sure. What I heard is that I believe it was like a senior project.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could be wrong. I don't know, but I guess it just turned into some big thing, and he's got this whole thing going. He's really doing a good job for the ACHA. They're bringing a lot of people together. They're making it aware to, kids that are in that position that we once were before juniors, and you're graduating school and you're like, I don't know what to do. Should I stay home and play juniors? Should I go to school and play hockey or club hockey? I mean, I remember before I was leaving, everybody was saying like, oh, you're going to go play club hockey. It's like, yeah, I guess. And then you're like, I don't know. And you get here and it's a great time. I'm having a blast. I mean,
Good.
I only played 3 years, but I mean, actually, I kind of just ran off the track there. What was I going with that?
No, I mean, like bringing back to the ACHA. I mean, I know that hockey pod. Real quick though, I know there's like a Kentucky. I think there's a big Kentucky ACHA game. Like they're one of the D1 teams. I don't know which school it is. I think it's University of Kentucky versus like Louisville.
Yeah, they do a big midnight showdown, I believe.
That's supposed to be a real fun thing to go to.
Yeah, I heard. I don't think it was the Louisville Kentucky game, but I know Jack Harlow went to a Louisville hockey.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think it was the midnight showdown. Like that's supposed to be an electric factory.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy that that guy's going to a
Well, he's a Kentucky guy.
But no, yeah, like I said, that Hockey House pod, they're doing a great job of letting people know how the ACHA really is. Obviously there's some things that we don't want everybody seeing because it's a little different after the whistle blows. But other than that, it's pretty much all good hockey. There's a lot of guys on like the Adrian schools, the UNLV team. I know Lindenwood University, they won nationals last year, and they just converted over to a D1 NCAA program. And they still.
So, is there a lot of movement there? You think, like NCAA D1, like the bottom end teams versus like an ACHA Premier D1 team? Is there like competition there, or is there like a big gap?
I know UNLV played Denver and lost 10-0.
Did they stop scoring? Because 10-0.
I mean, I didn't bother watching the game, but I was just like, obviously, because I was just like, this is ridiculous. It's kind of, and if I were Denver, I probably wouldn't have even played them. It's just kind of like they were recently just national champions.
That's what I'm saying. So,
what are you doing playing a club team? I don't know. I
think that's different.
Yeah, no, it's different. Listen, it's great for the ACHA, great for club hockey.
It is.
But like any other team in a league, and you play a crappy team, you're not going to move up in the rankings. It's not going to help you. It's just going to make you worse.
Sorry, I misspoke there. I meant to say that's different because I feel like University of Denver, that's like that's a juggernaut. Like they're like a top 10 team every year. I meant more like having like a low end D1 team, kind of go up against an ACHA team.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it would. That's where I was going with it. If they were to play a lower end D1 team, I think that it would be closer. Mm-hmm. It would be more interesting to watch. A lot of those guys that do transfer to these big schools like UNLV, Adrian, Liberty, Minot State, they all played really good hockey. They played in the NAL, they played in the NA3, not the NA3. Some of them played in the U show, but they also play some D3 teams. Like I remember last year we played UMass Boston. D3 NCAA. Listen, those are some big boys. They're very good.
How'd that go?
Kicked the crap out of us. They had like 72 shots, and we had maybe like 12. But I mean, we lost 5-0. at the end of the day, we were on the ice with them, but
Yeah.
it's different.
So do you think like the ACHA could kind of be used as that, like, because normally it's like, oh, you want to grow and develop your game before trying to go D1. So you're playing juniors, you're going to Sweden and all these international leagues. Like, could the ACHA be like kind of that, like that intermediary phase between like high school and like that D1 level where you're still in school? You could do like 2 years at an ACHA legit team and transfer.
I don't think it'll ever be like that. I just feel like the ACHA is sort of like a bridge for colleges and universities that want to make a program and eventually like kind of like build a culture through the ACHA, because the ACHA is different. It's not, the games are different. It's not a huge atmosphere like an arena set up. Like, it's not like an MSG or like a TD Garden. Like, it's nothing like that. It's bleacher seats and popcorn and slushies at a freaking concession stand. Like, it's not like that. It's just kids. It's families. It's college kids drinking. I mean, listen, some of these. Obviously in NCAA you got that too, but the atmosphere is just so much more rowdy and fun, and they make it fun. But like I said, it's a bridge for a lot of these colleges and universities to build a culture around hockey and kind of get their feet wet in the hockey culture, and
So
actually make a D1 program, hopefully. But who knows if that'll ever happen.
So is the vibe kind of like a somewhere between like hockey? Like, you're obviously like a contender and you're trying to win every game, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like you got the hockey house, like almost like a fraternity as well, where it's like you guys are getting after it after games and stuff and having a good old time.
Oh yeah, we have a blast. I mean, yesterday we had a big party last night. All the boys were going. I mean, listen, like I said before, we swept Stony Brook for the first time since 2011, so everybody was pretty pumped up about that. Can you just say that again? What were you saying?
Oh, basically like it's kind of like you have like a hockey house going, and like it's like the boys are buzzing after the game. I mean, you said you kind of got the party.
Yeah, no. We do have one house. It is a hockey house. I live with two of my teammates right now in a smaller house, 3-person house. The house that we usually party at is it's a 4-person house, no basement, and then downstairs, and then easy backyard kind of deal. But it gets cold up here, so we're usually inside.
Gotcha.
You have a good time.
So who's the competition like for you? Like, what teams do you typically play against, other than like Stony Brook?
So we're in the ESCHL. That's our league division.
Mm-hmm.
We play Syracuse, Delaware, Stony Brook, NYU, Drexel, Niagara, and University of Pitt.
So who's the biggest rival? Who's that rivalry?
Our biggest rival is probably Stony Brook. Some guys like to say Delaware. Delaware is just more of it's more of a gritty game. It's a grittier game, I would say, against them. Two hard-nosed teams going at it, strong, physical, skilled as well. Stony Brook, God, I hate to bash some of them because some of them are my good buddies, but the coaching style over there is a lot different. I won't put it on the players. The coaches definitely lose their cool too much, so their players kind of lose it too.
It's a discipline game.
Yeah, very much so. Their coaches aren't definitely not as disciplined as the players, I would say. I would say that the coaches have a very big effect on the players and how they react to certain things throughout the game. Yesterday, I know it was – I can't even tell you how many penalties. I mean, I took one. I took one early and often in the first period. Not a good call. Definitely not a good penalty on me, but it was just a back-and-forth game of penalties, power plays, penalty kills, and that's kind of what made the game yesterday. But yeah, I would have to go with Stony Brook. I love getting up for them. A couple other guys on the team are from Long Island, as well as my brother's on the team. So it's a blast. We love getting up for them, as well as Delaware. But Stony Brook, definitely my top rival for sure.
So real quick, two things that bring me down memory lane. You brought up Ronan, your brother. I was going to bring that up in a minute. But that and the Hen House, isn't that where Delaware plays?
Yes. Yeah.
So we used to play there, remember, growing up. Again, you were captain with me back in the day, way back in, 07, 08 maybe? Some of our first
Max,
games.
you were on the team, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Holy crap. That's
Yep.
crazy.
And so was Ronan. So two things.
Sorry.
Do you have kind of memories kind of playing in the Delaware rink? And what's it like playing with Ronan?
I definitely have some memories playing in the Delaware rink. I do know that we played at the rink that's also down the road called the Pond.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. What was it? The King of the Hill tournament?
Yep.
No, it was Pond on Ice. Wasn't that?
Oh yeah, it was Pond on Ice.
Yeah. King of the Hill was at Aviator.
Yes. Well, I ended up going.
Yeah. So Pond on Ice, that tournament, God, I remember we won the whole thing, but I do remember one funny memory I had was Connor Squeary on the team. He was the youngest guy on the team. He was 4 years old. I'm pretty sure 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
We were all 8. Johnny Mack was 5, and Connor Squeary I think was the same age. And I remember he didn't play one shift in the game because he had to pee the whole time.
Oh my God!
He didn't let him get off the bench. He didn't let him go take a piss. It was like he wasn't playing. Just go put him in the locker room. Let him go to the bathroom. But I don't know. No, that's one thing I remember. I remember Johnny Mack. I don't know. That kid was. He's now committed to LIU. You got to. I actually ran into his parents when we were home for. I believe it was Thanksgiving. I went to an LIU Ohio State game. I
watched that live.
Yeah. Great game. His parents are great people. They're doing a good job.
The nicest.
They actually took care of the boys. They had a couple of the boys over for Thanksgiving dinner. None of the guys went home because obviously they were playing Ohio State. They needed to stay on the ice. Great people.
And so what's it like playing with Roni?
Oh, yeah. Playing with Ronan is it's definitely good that I play with Ronan because there are definitely times where I lose my cool on the ice. And I'm usually kind of calming people down. But if I kind of lose my head and lose my gears, no one really tends to get in the way, and I kind of just lose my mind.
Yeah, we've seen it.
It's definitely the guy that kind of gets in the way, and he's not afraid to, tell me to, calm down or shut up and, just get back to my game and, get back to the basics. Like yesterday, bad penalty taken, roughing call. And Ronan was just like, listen, you got to stop. You got to get back to your game and whatnot. So, it's definitely good. On and off the ice, we're good. He's always pushing me harder in the gym. He's a big boy now.
Yeah, seriously, no joke.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen him over the summer. Have you?
I did. I saw him.
Yeah.
He looks good.
I mean, he's really filling out now. I mean, I know. Last year he actually had one of the same surgeries I had, a hernia surgery. He had a double hernia in his stomach.
I had that too.
He had that surgery, and then he went from weighing 175 pounds to like $155 at 6'1", and I was just
holy
crap.
Yeah.
But no, now he's really filling out. He's like pushing like 235 pounds on the bench.
I thought you were gonna say 235 pounds from weighing in. I was like, holy shit!
No. He's just short of 200. I would say right now he's probably around 195. But yeah, he's doing well. I'm proud of him for sure.
And what's Quinn up to now? He's what, junior?
Quinny's a junior in high school.
Fuck. That's
Yeah.
Sorry to them. I just saw that
Now-
game. So sad to say.
Yeah, I know. What a run. But
hmm
at the end of the day, I mean, listen, I think they made it that far because of Garen.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps just saying that right now.
yeah.
Rest in peace to a fucking great kid, great hockey player, an even better kid off the ice. Just a stone cold leader. Always doing his own thing. Everybody always looking up to him. I know Quinny always looked up to him. And I just heard recently from John Salvato, he was telling my dad that Garen would always talk about Quinn and, just joking around about Quinny. And he's like, oh, I got to go pick up Quinn for practice, And he was saying something about roller hockey because Quinn's always kind of getting the boys going to go play roller hockey in the back of the rink. And he's like, yeah, we can't play without Quinn. Can't play without him. He always gets the guys going. He always wants us to play all this stuff and whatnot. So I don't know. It's just good to know that the kid that's very well respected throughout Long Beach.
He'll be remembered well.
Yeah, and he had a big heart for my brother, so it's nice
Great
to
to
hear.
see.
Yep.
Jeez, I was almost getting choked up there. I was fighting back tears a bit.
Yeah, no,
That's
yeah, me
tough.
too. I mean, I don't want to get into the funeral, but it
Yeah.
was just beautiful what they did for him. He was just a great kid. And, I mean, when I heard Max, you were there, right?
Yeah. It was it was good.
When you heard those bagpipes, what'd you think?
Yeah, that was something. It gave me chills, truly.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then seeing them stick tap him on the way in, I lost it.
Yep.
I mean, I tried to stay cool for my mom. My mom was losing it right next to me.
Yeah.
It's tragic.
No one's parents, friends, community should have to go through that. But let's change it up. I can't.
Yeah.
My struggling here too. But one last note kind of for this interview, and we'll kind of jump into some more light stuff. Pinto. I mean, it's a good man.
One last thing, Gary. Get your sweatshirt. Simat Printing Co. Never forget, Gary. Number 2.
We'll put a link in the description.
Definitely.
For sure. Sorry, Jared. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, of course. Oh, Luke, we play with Pinto. I don't know if you saw the game yesterday. He had one of the silkiest moves I've ever seen. Puts it between some of the Oilers' legs, then beats the goalie, and then dinked it off the post. Just sweet move. I got to show the highlight after, but unreal.
Oh, really? If you got the clip, can you pull it up now or no?
Max, can you pull it up?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, like, how crazy to see Pinto just tearing up the league. I think he's 4th in points for rookies.
Really?
And we play with him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I remember when we were playing with him, he was like the worst skater ever. Like, it's just crazy to see, like, I was actually talking about him yesterday with one of my buddies because they were talking about me and a couple of my buddies were watching the Long Beach High School game and whatnot the other night, and on Wednesday they had their quarterfinal playoff game against Valley Stream, and Shane was supposed to. Here we go. I'll get back to that in a minute.
Sorry
No,
for
that's
the
not
delay.
it.
Oh, it's not it?
It's versus the Oilers.
Oh.
It was
My bad.
yesterday, so I don't know if the thing will be out. But
Okay.
talk about you started talking to Pinto about your buddies.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I was just chatting about him, and my dad actually let me know that Pinto was going down to talk to the Long Beach High School team before their game on Wednesday against Valley Stream. Unfortunately, I heard that he got food poisoning down at the Sacred Heart Arena. So if you're going to a Sacred Heart game, be careful what you eat.
They
Be
just
careful.
built that out, right?
What's up?
Oh wait, Sacred Heart University or Sacred Heart the high school?
Sacred Heart University.
Brand new facility, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it is.
be careful eating over there. I don't know what he had. Maybe you shoot him a text before you go down there and eat something. But yeah, no, he got food poisoning. He couldn't go to the game and talk to the boys. So Mr. Pinto actually brought a couple signed sticks for the team. Not for everybody. I think he just brought them for the Hagen family, and he paid his respects, obviously, to Mr. Hagen. And he was actually just shooting the shit with my dad a little bit, just seeing how we were doing. He was, talking about all the guys that played on the team, Dom Satimo, me, you, Jared. But yeah, Pinto, growing up, I remember he was always good. And then all of a sudden, he just really picked it up his 16U year. And I believe he left halfway through with his he left the 16U Aviator team halfway through after they played South Kent, and they really liked him. And they reached out to him and then picked him up and brought him over. And then once he started playing with better players, they were like, what the hell? Where did this guy come from? And, now he's playing in the NHL, which is unbelievable because, it just goes to show for other kids out there, your time is coming. You just keep working, and, if you're good enough, they're going to find you. Unfortunately, that didn't happen for the three of us, but
definitely not me.
It is what it is. I mean, I'm doing just fine. I'm sure all the boys are doing just fine, but
Yep.
For those people still out there that are still young and still playing hockey, keep working at it, keep going, keep working out, keep staying on the ice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Pinto, we saw, I think a big thing was he shot from like 5'5" to like 6'2", not in a pretty quick amount of time. But
Yeah.
going to his NHL, first of all, first goal against Carey Price. That's like one of the greatest goalies of our like generation.
Yeah.
And then
Easily.
pushing forward to back in October, my dad was down here visiting me in Florida, and I saw Ottawa had a game down here. So like, oh, we got to go see them. So we go. Frank was at the game too, Mr. Pinto, and Shane's grandfather's at the game too. So we got to see them, and Pinto scored a goal. So
Oh, that's awesome.
kind of capped off
Yeah,
a
it
good
is
day
awesome.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we kind of hit through a bunch of kind of the growing up stuff. I think we should jump into the NHL now. So, a couple of things came across my desk. Not that this is news by any means. McDavid I don't think he's playing the same game the rest of the league is.
No. I mean, it's
That's a video
unbelievable.
Yeah. He's a cartoon character for sure.
Just a wizard. He's a wizard out there. Let's see. What other things I have?
How about
Rangers?
Tarasenko? The huge news coming out this
Yeah.
week. Joe,
Who's
your
your
thoughts
thoughts?
on that?
Me? Oh, I mean, look, I think we talked about last week. Panarin's been super underwhelming. And boy, did that bite us in the ass now. What does he go? Comes back. He's feeding his Russian friend, Vladimir Tarasenko, backdoor. They're electric. And then the Hurricanes, what does he drop? 4 goals and assists?
5 points.
Shut us up.
Yep. Shut us up right away. Can't say more about that. And 3 minutes in, Tarasenko scores. Like, that's exactly what we needed right there. Great day.
Definitely a big win for the boys yesterday. To cap off on that, I think the Hurricanes are in the hunt for the cup this year. I could see them playing Boston. They wouldn't play them in the Eastern Conference Final, would they? No, right?
They would
Who?
put him in the
The-
second round, I believe.
They would probably play them in the second round. Yeah, I could see them easily taking out Boston. They're just a much quicker team, I feel like. Our homeboy Charlie Mack. I really would love for him to win a cup. That would be a crazy parade in Long Beach.
That would.
But at the end of the day, Hurricanes are overdue. Not overdue. I just think that they're due for a cup.
So let's run through. We'll go through the Eastern Conference now. We can start with Carolina. So any thoughts on any trades you think they should make? Any moves at all?
Let me start. I think from this game, it kind of proved to me that they kind of need another piece to the puzzle for them. I think they lost so much this offseason that they need something. I don't know what you think.
I'm gonna go with that Brent Burns addition. Beautiful move. You get the veteran,
Yeah, it was.
a gritty, great offensive defenseman, and the missing piece was Pacioretty. When he came back, electric factory. He's done, I think, for the year. Long-term IR. They need something in there because they're an unreal team. I think they're a top 5 contender, but there's a missing piece, and I think that piece is going to be. I think you go after a Konecny or you go after a Hayes. You need someone to kind of bring in a little goal scoring ability and just a little like X factor. Tarasenko was the X factor for the Rangers. Even if he doesn't deliver, he brings that energy. They kind of just need that little little kick in the ass to kind of finish through. So I think a little piece like a Konecny would be, or a Hayes would be the move. What do you think,
Yeah.
Luke?
Yeah, I don't know. I was hearing some stuff about Ryan O'Reilly. I heard something about him. I heard Vegas was interested in him, but I feel like he would be a good addition to the Carolina Hurricanes. I know the Hurricanes, they lost Trocheck last year to the Rangers. Trocheck signed with the Rangers for what, 5
He
years?
got a 3x5 with a
5.25 annually.
annual. Yeah.
I can tell you right
Obviously,
now.
Ryan O'Reilly's a way better pickup than would surpass Trocheck's, pass in the for the Hurricanes. I think they should make a push for a second line center. They got Aho on the first line there.
Mm-hmm.
They have been struggling to find a superstar. They have very good depth, I believe. Their defense is great.
Yeah.
Goaltending is okay. Who do they have? Frederick Anderson?
Freddie
He didn't look great last
Anderson
night.
and Antti Ranta.
Yeah.
So they got 2 above average.
We're in town.
Love it. Oh, so then I guess this would be a hot take then too. You say the second line center. I agree. In Detroit, there's being some issues finalizing a contract with your boy Larkin. What do you think about a little Larkin to the Hurricanes? Is that the X factor missing piece?
I could see him settling for something that's definitely lower in the price range, just because he's been, kind of in a never-ending black hole over there in Detroit. I know they did pick up David Perron, Andrew Kopp. They picked up Kubalik. They picked up some defensemen. They picked up Ali Mata. Who's that guy? Ben Sherratt.
Yeah, I mean they're in a rebuild. Detroit's in a rebuild.
Yeah, for sure. I know they do have some good prospects coming up. They also kind of shit hit the fan with Jacob Vrana. That's sad to see. Great hockey player, great vision. I know when he was on the Capitals, they loved him there. He's
Yeah,
a
they
great
did.
left and right winger. He could play, any wing. But yeah, like you said, they're definitely in a rebuild, and I would hate to see them lose their captain, but I would love to see their captain, push his way for a cup on another team.
He's a Michigan boy though, so I think it's gonna be hard to leave. I think him and Stevie Y just need to get
Yeah.
that level and sign. That's why I think it'd be crazy. Unless it was a fuck you, Stevie Y, I'm only gonna want a cup right now. But he's a Michigan boy. He went to Michigan, grew up in Michigan, and now he's the captain of Red Wings. I don't really see him leaving. So that's my take. But we need to jump to the Devils, keep this ball rolling. Grant, what do you think? What do the Devils need to do?
I think they should go after Timo Meyer. I think that's the team that needs him. I think they just need another team that needs one more piece as well to compete with the team like us, the Rangers. And I think that's who they would go after. You?
I have the same thing. I've written down Timo Meyer or potentially a Kane, but I don't really see a Kane leaving this year. Again, I'll give my take. I think he's staying, sign that 1 year, get the surgery, play first half of the season with Chicago, trade him at deadline to Buffalo, finish out his career in his hometown. That's my take. I'm staying with it. Luke, what do you think about the Devils? What do they need to do?
I'm going to hop on that Timo Meyer train as well. I definitely did see him coming down to the East Coast. The Eastern Division just kind of overtakes the NHL. I believe that, all the teams on the East are very good.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. I would Timo Meyer, he's a winger, right? He's not a center.
He's a winger.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a winger.
He's pretty young too. I thought he was like 32. He's like
Yeah, he's only
26.
Yeah. I thought he was older too. I always get him and Hurdle mixed up.
Yeah, I used to too, honestly, as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I could see them pushing for Timo Meyer. I think that would be a great addition for them. They've been doing very well. I mean, Jack Hughes, he's got 35 goals.
He's a wizard.
You know, a lot of people were shaky on that contract, that 8-year, 8x8. I mean,
Now that's looking like an underpay.
yeah, they really stole him there. I think that was a great signing. But yeah, like you guys said, Timo Meyer for sure.
I love it. Yeah, real quick before we jump from the Devils, with the Jack Hughes, steal of a deal. But the only thing is he needs to stay healthy. He struggles with that. But that's a young group. There's a lot of future there. I think I spoke last week. I don't think it's their year for the Cup. Maybe if they make that Timo Meyer move, it might be. But I think 2024, 5, 6, 7, like you'll see them make deep runs like that early 2000s Devils team or late 90s. It might be with the Brodeur.
With Brodeur, yeah.
Yeah. So let's jump. We're all Rangers fans. I think all of our hopes were answered. Is there anything you guys want to see them do now, or I think wagon? That's it.
I think this should be bottom 6 forward, and I think that should be it. I really don't think we should give up much more. I think if Kravtsov wants out, let him go. I mean, they're scratching him every game, so if they want out, let him go, and we get Mott or someone like that. Nick
I love
Bonino.
that. Like a third or fourth line, love it.
Yeah, I would say our forwards are good. I would say for the defense, I would maybe dabble in the market for maybe a left-hand defenseman. You know, our first line, we got Fox and Lindgren, perfect pair. DeAndre and Trouba. I think we got to stick somebody back there with Schneider.
You don't like Mikkola?
What's up?
The new guy, Mikkola?
Yeah, I don't really know much about him. How is he? Is he a left-handed defenseman?
He is. He's like 6'9",
I didn't even know.
massive. I mean, I can't imagine that after all they just gave up for Tarasenko, they're going to keep going like that. I mean, we kind of stole him away, but
no, I all right, then shut me up. I mean, throw him in there with Schneider. I think Schneider's been doing well too. I don't know how many points he has, but
he's young.
Yeah,
he's young. I know he's a 2002 birth year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's still getting his feet wet, so I think he's got a bright future ahead of him in the big city.
All right, let's keep it rolling. We got a lot of teams in the East still. Let's jump to Capitals. What do you guys need to see in the Capitals do? That was barely English, but
I could start. I think they need a lot. I don't think they're a fringe playoff team to me, like truly. I think if they want to jump on the Meyer train or one of those, they really could. I mean, and try to jump for the playoffs. But honestly, I think they should just like sit back a little and not try to waste their assets here. What do you think?
Luke, you want to go?
Yeah. I don't know. They've been struggling with injuries this year. I know guys haven't been healthy. I know Oshie was out for a bit. Tom Wilson was out for a bit. I believe they are both back.
Yeah, they are now.
The team has a lot of depth. The team has a lot of playoff experience for sure. I can't really see them giving up a lot to make a push for anyone big. I would say if they were looking for anything, they would probably go for some more veterans. I know that they do have somewhat of a young team up front, besides, Nicholas Backstrom, Oshie, Wilson, and of course, Ovi. I know you guys talked about Sonny Milano on the last show, but another guy I wanted to bring up was Dylan Strome. I know he was the third pick of the 2015 draft. He hasn't been much. He hasn't shown much, but I think he's found his home in Washington.
They signed him and Sonny the same day.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah. So, I think they kind of stick with what they got, and see if their vets can kind of round up the boys and make a decent playoff push. I know that they're sitting in the second wild card spot right now, I believe, or maybe the first.
I think second. First, yes, first wild card spot. I think
first.
Matt Carlson, I believe, is out. He's a kind of key factor for like bringing that offense in the back. So I think a piece they could kind of use is kind of that offensive defenseman. I don't see Erik Karlsson going there, but I do think there's a piece. I wrote down, I think, Tony DeAngelo or a Brandon Montour. Those offensive defensemen could be a kind of a key piece to spark the offense. I hate Tony DeAngelo, but he does give you points on the blue line. It's like him or Montour. I don't think Montour is very well known in the NHL. He's been a stud on the Panthers, and we'll get to the Panthers in a bit, but I think kind of having a little fire in the blue line would be good for them. And if they get in, I think they're a threat just because of their experience. You don't want to play them.
Yeah, I would agree on that. You either hate or you love Tony DeAngelo. Most people hate him, but I think he would kind of fit right in that group. Washington is a team that not most people like. I know when I was growing up, my dad had a hate towards Ovechkin because he didn't like how much of a showboat he was as a young player. But I look back on it now and I'm like, what are you thinking, bro? Like, he's
Yeah, he is
so dominant. It's just hard to not like the guy. But he was doing something different for the game. But to build off of the Tony DeAngelo thing, I think that they do need an offensive defenseman for sure. Their up front is so offensively skilled. A lot of teams are definitely in the market for some offensive defensemen.
100%.
Yeah.
We'll get to the Panthers in a bit, but
so let's jump to Long Island, our New York Islanders. Grant, what do you think they need to do?
I think they got their big piece in Bo Horvat. I think that happened. I don't think they're done though either. I think they're with the Rangers and trying to get more. I think maybe they need a defenseman in the blue line, someone that they could really go after. I'm not really sure who I would think. Maybe like a Montour, but
it's not a bad move.
Yeah, I can't imagine what they would do besides this. I mean, they gave up a lot for Bo. You?
Luke, you want to take it?
Yeah, I think the Bo Horvat signing, I think it's a little much. I don't think there's a lot of good conversation in the GM spot. Lou, he don't even believe in himself. By the way he talks to the press. I know everybody's kind of making fun of that clip of him saying, too long and there's too much money. Well, dude, you're the head guy. You're the one who makes the call. So who the fuck gave him the contract? Did you not give him the contract?
I think he was trying to joke about it.
If you give a guy a contract, you stand by that. You don't say something like that. That's ridiculous. But I don't see them pushing for anybody else. I think that they have all their tokens in Bo Horvat, and I don't think that's enough at all. I would agree, though. They definitely need some help on the blue line. Noah Dobson is definitely their offensive defenseman. He has flashes of Makar-like mobility on the blue line, but definitely nowhere near as good. But yeah, I definitely think that they need some help on the blue line for sure. Their goaltending is outstanding this year. Ilya Sorokin has been great. Matty Barzal, great player.
On fire right now too.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, like I said,
my thoughts
for sure.
with the Islanders. I think one thing would be kind of just, even if they do nothing, just keep that chemistry up. You guys need, you got Bo Horvat in the mix. That's a huge piece. Just stick together, learn each other's learn each other's games and kind of get comfortable. And the only piece is kind of a bottom three defenseman. Radko Gudas stands out to me. We'll get to the Panthers in a bit, but
Another Panther.
Yeah, I think you grab Gudas. I think he's got a little bit of grit. I love the grit of the Islanders. They're just a bunch of scumbags you don't want to play against. Not the players themselves. They're good people. But they're gritty. You don't want to play them. If they could roll 4 lines of forwards and 6D and just tire out other teams, because they're not Bo Horvat was kind of your goal scorer. If you could just tire out these teams and just get these ugly 2-1 wins, that's a playoff team right there. And I think if they could get into that playoff, they're a real threat. And I hate the Islanders. But if the Bruins play the Islanders in the first round, like it's gonna be a bloodbath. We talked about this. So, and if whatever team makes it through, you don't want to play them because they're gonna be scared. But let's keep the ball rolling. We got 2 more teams in the Metro, and we have Atlantic. So Philly, what are our thoughts with Philly?
Fire sale. There's nothing
Shit
else
show.
that could be said. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think those guys were ready for John Tortorella at all. I know Cam Atkinson used to play for him down in Columbus. I feel like he had something to do with that for sure. Definitely, I'm sure he kind of convinced some of the guys to be like, all right, just do whatever the fuck he says because he's not going to take it. He's not going to take your shit. I recently heard on the Empty Netters podcast, actually,
those guys.
they were talking about Hazy. The guy's got 45 points in 50 games.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you scratching him?
How do you help bomb him? I don't understand.
How?
All-star.
It doesn't make any sense. The guy's a great player. And I think that he deserves a better team that's going to appreciate him. I'm kind of quoting Empty Netters right now, but they kind of put it. They said it best. The guy needs a team that's going to appreciate him and use him to his full potential for sure.
Going with that too, I know we're jumping to Columbus. I have my Columbus. All I have is not a bad team. Taking the year off. They're suffering every injury in the books. Grab Hayes. He doesn't want to be in. I think Empty Netter's kind of winning this a bit. He doesn't want to be in Philly. Philly doesn't want him. And he loves Johnny hockey. Put him with Johnny Ham and Cheese. That team is a legit contender for next year.
That's a good point. I actually like that idea. That would be really good.
Yeah, him.
It's so good together.
Yeah, him, Johnny, and Line.
And
that would
among-
be-
I'm sure he played with Line in Winnipeg too.
Yes. And
yeah.
their whole team's just hurt. Columbus is a contender. They're just hurt. And to finish with Philly, yeah, I mean, on paper, I was looking through the roster. It's not a bad team, which makes me feel that one or two things should happen. One, you fire sell the whole team. You got Joel Farabee, James Van Riemsdyk could be a great asset. Konecki, D'Angelo, Farabee, Hayes, among many other players, Carter Hart. I mean, they are a good team. So it makes you think it might be a coaching issue, which is no surprise. Either fire sell the team or get rid of Torts. Or maybe both. I don't know. But they need to figure their stuff out.
Yeah, a big underlying issue that not a lot of people may realize or may not be true is, the connections in the locker room. A lot of this stuff goes on in the locker room. That's behind closed doors. No one really knows what goes on. It doesn't really seem like they have any sort of culture, any sort of connection. It seems just like a lot of guys have just been kind of thrown in that pit of Philly and kind of just been forced to play for a guy who is a fucking hard-nosed, old-school guy.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love his fucking post-game interviews, but I don't know what the fuck I would do if I was in his locker room. I'd be fucking terrified.
I would.
They used to be good. Yandel was there last year. I think Yandel and Hayes are boys.
Oh yeah.
So I think the locker room was great, and then Torts comes in and just, I don't know.
Yeah, he kind of shits on the parade a little bit. He kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit too. I know I heard something about Ryan Kessler, pressing him or something in the locker room, and they almost, I forget what I think Chicklets was talking about it.
Yes, I know you're talking about now.
And, I don't know, he was like, am I about to fucking fight John Tortorella? Am I I'm gonna go down in fucking history? That would be fucking crazy. But
I think what you're getting
fucking ass kicked, but the guy's gonna run his fucking mouth all day, and he's the one putting you out there, fucking putting you in the fucking box. So I don't know, like we said, coaching issue, could be the locker room, but yeah, they are definitely in a fucking black hole for sure.
I think what you're getting at was, I think he was Kessler, I don't know if you're gonna be the captain next year. Going into, it was the off season, I think is what it was, and basically Kessler, like he was just riling up Kessler to prove it to him that he deserved it, but he went too far, and Kessler's about to like knock his lights out. And then he's like, "Yeah, thank you for finally stepping up. I wanted you to like come and fight me, basically." Which is just that's not the dynamic any coach relationship.
Not anymore. I mean, the world is changing, society's changing. I know a lot of people kind of shit on our generation for being a little soft, but at the end of the day, just kind of talking to people and seeing where they're coming from is a little bit of a better approach rather than, shitting on their parade, stuffing them in the fucking stands. Hayes, I can't really see him like giving a shit about being put in the stands. I'm sure he knows what he's capable of and listen, the guy's still putting up fucking points.
Yep.
He's got 45 points in 50 games and you're going to put him in the stands.
Yeah. It's just,
what do you like? I don't understand what he's trying to prove. Is he trying to prove something like he did with Kessler? Is he trying to push him to be a better player? Does he think he has more? I can't really see Hayes putting up more than he already has been. He's a very skilled offensive player, but he's a big dude. He's slow, and he doesn't really have a lot of help. So,
yeah. All right, let's jump to Columbus. Any last thoughts other than my hazy take?
No, I think it's a good take. I really think that's a strong take. And it could happen, honestly. We do not know about this deadline. A lot could happen. This could be like the NBA trade deadline where a lot happens again.
Yeah. I don't know. I could see that being a good fit for Hayes, but I know the guy hasn't won a cup. I know. I mean, listen, I wouldn't mind him being a Ranger again. I mean,
that's what I was thinking too. That would be great.
I would love him back. I think that would be great. Throw him on the second line, put Trocheck down on the third. Trocheck's been good, but at the end of the day, he's no fucking Hayes. I mean,
no,
I fucking love Hayes. If that's possible for the cap, I would adore it. But I don't know if the cap could take that kind of hit.
No, that's something just to dream about. But
yes.
I don't know. I could see him going
$7 million cap hit.
I see him signing something low for Carolina. Maybe Boston.
Yeah,
they really want to pick him up.
I'd say, yeah. I mean, there's not really much else for Columbus. I think we just kind of jump ship. Let's go to the Atlantic. We still got a whole division to get through. Yeah. So let us jump.
Do you want to just end on the Metro, or we could just do Metro?
It's up to you. What do you guys want to do? You want to run through? We can do it quick. Up to you.
Yeah, we could do it quick.
All right. I think the Atlantic is less too, but
yeah, it is.
Bruins. Let's start with the Bruins. What are our thoughts, Bruins?
You want to start, Judge?
Yeah, sure. I think that they're in a good position right now. I don't think there's really anything to change. I know the big addition with the coaching staff was big. Montgomery was a big play. It just seems like he's kind of letting those guys do their thing. I feel like Bruce Cassidy was kind of trying too hard to kind of maneuver them. I think Montgomery just came in and was like, listen, I know there's a couple guys here that are kind of on the outs with Krejci, Bergeron. Bergeron signed a 1 year, $1 million contract. I mean, the guy just wants to win. Krejci signed 2 years, I believe. But they're going to have a huge problem if they don't win the cup this year. Because if they get knocked out early,
it's Krejci, do or die.
Bergeron gone, and then that leaves you Pasta. Unsigned, nothing going in. Someone else was talking about this too, but you can't not sign him. You can't sign him after losing in the playoffs. Like I know he loves Boston. That's the team that's always had him. But at the end of the day, the guy needs to get paid and he needs to win something. Because you don't show the guy that you can do something with that, then he's just going to be out. And then they would be in some real trouble. But if they're going to pick up anybody, I know that they're shopping for a defenseman. either a right hand or a left hand. Maybe somebody to go with Mac. But yeah, that's all I really have. Their goaltending is absolutely outstanding.
It's the best.
Best starter backup duo in the fucking league right now.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Swayman deserves a starting job for sure.
Yeah.
I can see him maybe possibly leaving after the year. If that's the case, I don't know if he's signed or how long his contract is or how long he's got. But yeah, anyone else want to take a stab?
Look, I think.
You got it. You got it.
All right. Basically, I think there's two options. One, you do nothing. You have sick chemistry. This team is by far the best in the league. If it ain't broken, don't fix, and you don't do anything. And then I guess the last thing would be maybe you want to grab one like bottom three defender, or just like a kind of depth role for that bottom two lines on forward, just for injuries throughout playoffs. But I think really I would probably just not change anything. You don't want someone to fuck up the chemistry, so I would probably just leave it, keep it simple.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they have They have 9 guys that are unrestricted free agents going into this offseason. I mean, I don't think Pasta will be a problem for them to sign. I just think that there's just too much going. It's just like do or die year for them because Bergeron's gone. He's definitely going to retire. I mean, I can't imagine he's not. And you have Krejci too. Yeah.
All right, let's jump to Toronto. Luke, you want to start us off? What are your thoughts with Toronto?
I haven't really paid much attention to them this year.
Toronto.
I mean, just win a fucking playoff series. Like, do something. I don't know. I can't really speak on them much. Just take a stab.
Look, it's Kyle Dubas's last year if they don't win the first round. So I think someone else brought this up in another podcast, either Empty Netters or Spit and Chicklets. Full send. You need to get your jobs on the line. Trade every draft pick you can and load up because either you're done or like you'll figure it out next year if you still have a job. So I think you need to get another defenseman on that blue line. I think a Montour or even a Tony DeAngelo. Get that defenseman. You need to get the offense rolling there. Morgan Riley's been hurt. Giordano is like a nice solid defenseman, but he's like 42 years old. And I think just get a little bit more depth on the forwards. You have all-stars, like literal like 5 all-stars probably. So I think just fill in a little bit of depth on the forwards and get past that first round. If you get past the first round, I think everyone's like, all right. I mean, I'm sure everyone's going to bitch and complain like, oh, they didn't go further, but get out of the first round, break that streak, and next year you deal with that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they really need to send it. Like Carlson has got to be on that team by this trade deadline. I really believe
that's
that.
A crazy take.
I know that's crazy, but I think that's who it goes to. I really do. I mean, they got to push hard for someone, and that's got to be one of the pieces to it, the puzzle.
Yeah, I would like that. That would be a big addition for them. That's a good take, Max.
Or Chikrin.
Yeah,
Chikrin could be on the move to them. No, he's a defenseman.
Chikrin? Oh, I'm thinking of Konecki. Yeah, Chikrin. Yes, Chikrin. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see it. I think they need a defenseman. Chikrin could be that piece.
Barbashev too as well. I heard is going to be on the move. He could go there.
All right. Let's jump to Tampa. Keep the ball rolling. Luke, you want to start us off? Tampa thoughts?
Yeah, sure. Tampa. You can't touch Tampa.
Yeah,
they're just such a deep team. They have so much experience. I mean, these past couple of years. I mean, they went back to back. They went to the Stanley Cup 3 years in a row. Lost to Avalanche last year. Avalanche were due for that. They were a fucking powerhouse.
Yeah, they were unbelievable team.
But listen, they were down. Tampa was down 2-0 in the series to the Rangers last year in the Eastern Conference Final, and they came back and won 4-2. I mean, you can't really count Tampa out. I don't think they touch anything. I don't think they bring anybody in. That chemistry is great. I know they loaded up this year. They fucking paid all their guys. They paid Sergachev. They paid Sorelli. They paid who else did they pay? What's his fucking name? Cernak.
Yeah. I'm looking right now.
I don't know. I don't think they're looking to add anybody. I think they stick with what they got. Cooper's doing a fucking great job. He's a great coach. But yeah, they're definitely a team to not count out for the playoffs for sure.
Never. Grant?
Never. Yeah, I don't think they need much either. I think they always have had this problem with the cap hit. I mean, you always get the cup tax when you win the cup. And so it's hitting them hard. And I don't know what they could really move to get that cleared up, but maybe they can find something, but I can't imagine. You?
Yeah, I feel like every year they make a little move. It's usually like that third or fourth line player that they're like, oh, that won't do anything, and then it does make a huge move. So I have no idea what they're going to do. They're going to make some little tweak, add one player that's going to be like not a game changer, and it's somehow going to change the momentum, and they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Final or just deep in the playoffs. So I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to do a little something, and it's going to work out perfect. So jumping to another Florida team, Panthers. What do we think?
Your squad, Jared. You started off.
I'll start it off. I mean, definitely not my squad, but they are the closest ring to me. I think it's a Flyers team. I think it's a fire sale. I think you could say they're a fringe. You could say they're a fringe team, like for playoffs. I agree. I think they have a chance of sneaking into wild card too, but I don't think it's going to happen because I think the top three teams are locked up in each division, Atlantic and Metro. Then you have now there's the battle of the wild cards. You got Penguins, Capitals, Buffalo, Islanders, and Panthers. And I just see the Islanders better. I see the Capitals better. I see the Penguins better. And I see Buffalo better. And I don't think what are you going to sneak in and get mopped by the Bruins in the first round? You have no chance. So yeah. I think you fire sale your team. First of all, no draft. You have one draft pick, I think, for the next 7 years, and no first rounds, or something along those lines. You have no first round picks.
Yeah,
you have a team. Sell the team. Keep Kachuk, and get what you can. You'll get a bunch of first round picks. Deal out Montour, Gudaz, maybe keep Barkov, but I'm selling. Sell the team and figure it out for next year.
I'm going to have to agree with that one.
I feel like they're not really they're not worried about keeping guys or selling guys. They really, after this summer with that Huberdeau trade for Matthew Tkachuk, I think they really fucked that one up. They really fucked up the chemistry in that room. No one's safe on that team. I can't really see them. I don't know. It's a big question mark hanging over that team. Yeah, I don't got much on them, but.
All right, let's jump to Buffalo.
Wait. Let me just add. Going off of that, though, that no one's safe because now that their top player is gone, no one can really no one's very nervous to play. They're not they don't know what's going to happen this offseason. I mean, I don't imagine them making a lot of trades though. I mean, because of that Kachuk trade, but it did absolutely mess up the chemistry. That just ruined it all. I mean, they did get swept, and that's why they needed change. But it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, if anything, if they're looking to pick up any picks, I think that they could probably move Duclair.
Yeah,
Duclair is a good asset to have. I feel like they kind of paved the way to make it like a Matthew Tkachuk team.
Yeah,
I know he's thriving right now. He's got 75 points. I don't know if he picked up any more last night, if they played last night. But they're kind of making it like the Tkachuk show. I feel like after that trade, they gave up a lot. For him, they gave Huberdeau and a couple picks.
And Uyghur was their best defenseman.
Yeah, Uyghur.
I don't really understand. I can't understand what's going on over there.
Kachuk had 2 assists last night.
What'd you say?
2 assists for Kachuk last night.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's a great player, and I can't shit on him or anything. I mean, he's fucking gritty. He fights. Him and his brother are just fucking absolute
menaces.
Yeah, they're nuts. But yeah, like I said, Duclair, if you're going to move anybody, I would say him because that would be a pickup for a good team, and they would get something good in return for him, I think.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, let's jump to Buffalo. Max, going to start us off?
I think Buffalo is going to be on like the adding side. I don't think they're going to be selling. They need to do more with Tage Thompson and Tuck. I think there needs to be a little bit more of that. Like there has to be a balance. I think the defense is set. Darlene looks amazing, like all around that defense. They got a great future ahead of them. I'm happy to see them actually be good finally. You?
Yeah, I agree, Max. I definitely think that they need to spread out the forwards a little bit. They locked up Dylan Cousins, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big contract. I wish the best for him. I hope that he, has the ability to play to that level of money.
7x7, I think.
Yeah, 7x7 one.
Decent contract, but as we get older and the game grows and the NHL becomes more of a known sport throughout the world, and a lot of more people start playing hockey, I think that they're going to start getting paid a lot more.
We need the cap to rise.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I love Buffalo. I love Tage Thompson. I like Alex Tuck. I like that kid Jack Quinn they got. They drafted him 2 years ago, I believe. I think he's either an 02 or an 03. He looks really good. He's had a couple highlight reels. I think it's just a matter of time before they start taking over the league.
Definitely, and you just got Owen Powers jumped in, so now they got that nice addition. So that's kind of like a trade ad right there, like a deadline ad. Key thoughts?
Owen Power, they drafted him.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I'm saying he just came over. I think he was playing at Michigan, and now he's
Buffalo. I mean, they drafted him, and then he was like, I'm not coming yet. Like, it's a shit show. Smart move by him. I mean,
he's playing now, though.
Yeah, no, I know.
He is.
So it's like kind of like a deadline ad getting him to join into the lineup. Is what I'm saying. But yeah, so as far as Buffalo goes, I think they're a great young team. I mean, they're kind of the best offense, like analytically. Like they're putting up the most points. So I think the real work is, young overall, good offense, good defense. Luukkonen is kind of coming alive. And then you got Craig Anderson, nothing but love for him. But I think you need to grab a goalie. What comes to mind is Vejmelka, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Arizona's goalie. I think you throw him in the mix, or Thatcher Demko, but Demko, I believe, is hurt. So I think Vejmelka from Arizona, I'm sure I'm botching that name, but he is my ad. I think you grab him, and you might have a chance to sneak into that wild card spot. And for many futures, he's young, so I think it's not a rental. It's you're buying him for the future, and I think Buffalo will be a playoff team for years to come.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Agree.
Detroit, let's jump there. What are we thinking? Grant, any thoughts?
They're a team that's really up in the mix for me. I really don't know much about them. I know they just got our cop from us, and that got me pretty mad. But that's like they're Stevie Y. He definitely has a plan in place. There's got to be something he has working on. They have some good young guys ready to go. They just got to keep building.
I think they're midway through that rebuild. I think you lock up your boy Larkin, let him know that he's going to get a contract and he's going to be the longtime captain there. And then I think the team's young. They're going to be good. They're suffering some injuries. So I think the real thing is just kind of coast. Don't sweat this year. I'd honestly tank. This is like one of our a generational draft. I think
it is.
At this
point,
point,
the
tank for Bedard. That's all it is. You got a good team in the future. Tank. Don't worry about playoffs this year. You're in the rebuild, and lock up your captain. That's all I got.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Definitely try and lock up Larkin. I think something that stunted their rebuild for sure is Rana. I brought him up before. I fucking love him when I'm playing. Whenever I get when I'm playing Chell, I get Detroit as a random. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be Detroit. I'm gonna be fucking Rana, and I throw him in off the scratch list. Throw him on the first line. Throw him on the PP. I think that team's very young. They got a lot of good guys. Lucas Raymond had a breakout year last year. His he won the Cal? No, he didn't win the Calder.
He was runner up, I think, for the Calder.
I mean, they got their fucking big boy defenseman back there, Maurice Sider.
Yep.
He's going to be a long-time Red Wing, I believe.
Zadina.
They're definitely going to lock him up soon. I think he's due for a contract after this year or next year. I believe he's still on his entry-level contract. But I definitely think that they need to, continue the rebuild, definitely add some depth to the defense. The defense is kind of all over the place. They definitely don't have as much chemistry as they probably want to. But that's all part of the rebuild. So
these are not deadline ads.
Yeah. Wait, what did you say?
These are not deadline ads. These are just like future, like what you need to do, but not like before the deadline. You're not making a playoff push.
Playoff season.
In the future, definitely, pick up some defensemen. Definitely work on the chemistry for sure. But they got a lot of good players, a lot of good talent on that team. So definitely I would say work on the chemistry.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's jump to Ottawa. Team to love. I mean, we got the personal connection. I personally think that they're not going to playoffs this year. They've got some good veteran leadership, and they have a lot of good young talent. They're just shattered with injuries, so it's kind of like heal up this year. If you could grab that lottery pick and get a Bedard or a top 4 player out of the next year's draft, sick. But I think there's a good future here. Just coast this year, tank for Bedard. That's all I got. Any thoughts with that?
Judge?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, I think
Wait, I can go. I think that they're kind of in like a mix of like a rebuild and not. I think they have like the pieces, like the Brinkett, Claude Giroux, and Kachuk, but like there's just a lot of like liabilities on this team and guys who are really not there completely. I think they have a great future though too as well.
Yeah, wait, let me just I gotta grab my cube for my truck. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Yeah, no, I think they're doing everything right. I mean, over the summer they picked up the Brinkett.
Yeah.
Great
and Giroux.
pick up there. He's a great player. Where was he? Chicago before.
Yeah.
Pick up there, good stuff. Stützle, he's definitely, he's got some flashes. He's a good player. I think he's got to pick it up a little bit. He's playing with, I know he's playing with Giroux, so Giroux hopefully is giving him a little bit of, intake of, some of his game, and I think he just needs to be a little bit more physical.
He's an 0-2 as well.
Yeah. He was what, third overall pick?
Yeah.
I believe
he's a wizard out there too.
Yeah, no, he's really good. But yeah, they got some good defensemen coming up. Jake Sanderson, I know he's very good. He was over at North Dakota, I believe, with Shane Pinto.
He's done for the year.
Oh, really?
He just same thing as Pinto, the shoulder, getting the surgery, and hopefully be back for next year.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a good piece to have there. He's going to be really good in the future.
Yep.
I kind of look at him almost like a Dahlin. He's very mobile, shifty. He's fast. The only problem is he's a little undersized. I think he's like what, 5'10".
Yeah, I think so. But he's a sick player, so I think he kind of makes up for that lack of height.
Yeah, he's very short, but he's very skilled. He's like a Zuccarello type player to me.
Zook's been a wizard this year too.
Shit, fuck me. He's 6'3".
All right, we're all wrong.
Yeah. Gotta start checking our fucking stats.
He plays smaller though. I feel like he doesn't play like a big guy.
Yeah, he skates. He skates a little weird. He skates very low to the ice.
Yeah.
All right, last team, Montreal. I don't really have much. My take is tank for Bedard. Half your team's injured. Just get healthy. Make sure your boy Cole is okay. Maybe make a few trades. Oh, and Harvey Pinard has been a wizard. He's been sick out there lately.
Yeah.
What's his first name? But Harvey Pinard is his last name. He came up from the AHL.
Raphael.
He's got Raphael Harvey-Pinard. He's got like 5 points in 5 games.
Yeah.
Grabbed him from their AHL team. He's a sick puppy. That's all it really is. And I think same for Bedard. Come back next year, and that's all you got.
Yep. And the other guy, what's his name? Jared, the Wi-Fi guy?
Oh, Arkady Jack-Eye?
Yeah, Jack-Eye.
Did you hear the story?
Did
you hear the story with that Spit and Chip episode on their pod with Mark Stahl? So Mark Stahl was pinning Jack-Eye against the boards, and Jack-Eye I think turned to him and was like, "You have 3 seconds to let go of me."
Wait, who was hitting him?
Mark Stahl just had him pinned against the wall, for the puck.
That's crazy.
And Mark Stahl was like, "Yo, relax, dude, chill out."
Yeah, no, I love how he's just kicking the shit out of these big boys that are big name fighters. I mean, he fucking pieced up Zach Cassian pretty good. I thought that was a big fight. But yeah, no, he's definitely going to be a heavy hitter for the next generation coming up. But yeah, like you said, Jared, definitely lock up Cole, make sure he's good to go for next season. I like the idea that Marty St. Louis is the coach. It gives kind of a lot of other guys, it gives that team kind of he's like a midget, he's like the small
the born leader.
He's almost like a Keith Casey. So it's like, you gotta give him, he may be smaller than you, but you gotta give him the fucking respect at least. But I think the addition of Kirby Doc is good. They're all a young team.
Suzuki's sick.
They just got to figure some stuff out.
Yep.
If anything, maybe in the future, maybe try and move a couple guys around. Maybe Jonathan Drouin. He would be a good addition to some other team that may need him.
Yeah,
but he's a good asset to have in the trade market for the summer. But yeah, definitely keep those younger guys around for sure. They're going to be the future of your team.
I agree. And actually, I saw Marty St. Louis last weekend. He was down at the rink I coach at. He was coaching the 14U 14U Connecticut Junior Rangers team. They're down here for the Exposure Cup.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his other son is on that team. I know he's got an 03 kid that played against Ronan. And I was actually just scrolling through Instagram yesterday, and I saw a couple I kind of just see some hockey highlights, some shit like that. And his kid had some fucking nasty goal. It was disgusting. He got St. Louis on the back and number 26. He's rocking his dad's number and shit.
Love it.
Cool.
Oh, you love that.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's awesome. All right, a couple things that came across my desk before we jump to this last segment. Watching the Phoenix Open today, real quick, it was a 2K23 ad for the PGA game, and the announcer said 2K13, and no one connected them, and just they rolled with 2013, which I thought was pretty funny. And Ricky Fowler had a hole-in-one today. So
did he? What hole?
Ricky Fowler, hole 7, not 16, not this big one.
Not the big one.
No, but that does bring me. Oh, before I jump to another hot take, do you see Bedard getting after it? They scored an empty netter against him to win the game, and he was just throwing the mitts with the whole team.
Really?
Just starting to fight. Yeah, he was angry.
Really?
So, love a little ferocity out of Bedard. And then back to the All-Star game. We talked a lot about it last week. I saw the NBA All-Star game, I think it's next weekend. Is that right?
Yeah.
And the NHL All-Star was last weekend. And then you got the Phoenix Open between.
Mm-hmm. And the Super Bowl.
I wonder if, and Super Bowl too. I wonder if there's some way that you could make the NBA and the NHL All-Star games the same weekend and do something together. I feel like that could be a great combo. I know I'm always in the golf thing, but what if you partnered an NBA player with an NHL player and you did some sort of tournament with an NBA, NHL? It could be the Monday after both All-Star weekends, and you have an NBA, NHL All-Star game, golf outing, or you throw them in Phoenix and do that in front of that big 16th hole, they're all chipping at it and everyone's just buzzing. I don't know. It could be something fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, I personally fucking hate the NBA, but
they do get a lot better exposure.
But I mean, yeah, no. Listen, like you were saying, I feel like for hockey, for the NHL, I feel like growing the game more would be kind of like duoing up with another organization like the NBA or the NFL. I feel like the NFL would be great. I feel like them doing something with the NFL would be super cool. There's a lot of good guys in the NFL. I just feel like the NBA. I don't know. I'm not big on the NBA. I just feel like it's kind of like a player-run association that is just.
You don't like that? I like that it's owned by the players. I like that they can control stuff.
I don't know. I just don't.
I don't like the super teams. All these super teams.
Yeah,
what
that's the
annoys me.
worst.
Like, we were already here, so let's go here.
I
check
hate
out
the
this fucking place.
Yeah, I hate the Kyrie situation. Like that's too frequent to me in like the NBA. It's too dramatic. Like that's the only like complaint. But I don't know. I just like basketball. It's a good sport.
It's
No,
like
listen, yeah.
no, I was gonna say it's like what if we just saw Ovi go to the Penguins and it's like first line's Ovi, Malcolm, Crosby. Like I would yak.
Well, we just got tired.
But at the end of the day, if you think about it, then you bring in the cap space. It's like, the cap space is so small. So, like, you can't really do that.
Yeah.
But the cap space in the NBA is fucking huge. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have fucking Kyrie, KD, LeBron.
Yeah.
Three
Like,
max
that's fucking
contracts.
ridiculous.
3 max contracts on one team. Like you couldn't even imagine that in hockey. Like no one could do that.
No, because it's a bigger team.
Yep.
It's only like you could play the whole time too. So like what if this is a hypothetical, like LeBron has like essentially enough money for generations. Like he's making $45 million a year. What if he's like, pay me $5 this year? And then instead sign Luka Doncic, Kyrie, KD, they all take minimum contracts. And then
It's
we
gotta-
just have like an all-star team. Is there like restriction?
There has to be. I mean, I can't imagine they could take like $5 Well, the league minimum is 800,000, I believe.
Okay,
So-
you could sign like 40 people under LeBron for 800,000. So LeBron picks his boys, and you got whatever Steph Curry, KD, Chris Paul, and like whoever. I don't know. And they just have an
Maybe.
all-star team.
Would they go undefeated?
I think so. I don't know enough about the NBA, but if you have five of the 10 best players, I think you should win.
I feel like
Yeah, they
LeBron
would.
would be a horrible GM. He just
He
brings
already
in guys.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he brought in fucking Russell Westbrook, Patrick Beverly, and it's like, you shit the bed, guy. And now, I mean, listen, now they're bringing in D'Angelo Russell. I mean, listen, we're going off topic of hockey, but
Yeah.
still, though,
It's
like,
all right.
you bring in fucking D'Angelo Russell, and who else did they get? They picked
Malik
up some
Beasley.
Malik Beasley.
Beasley.
Mo
Yeah, I mean,
Bamba.
listen, like, oh yeah, they got Mo Bamba after that big fucking scrap. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was something else.
What the other guy was like? What? We only know
Austin
you.
Reeves.
We only know your name because of some fucking rap song. So,
They definitely go after him a lot for that.
but no, yeah. I mean, we'll see what he does with that. I mean, LeBron's running that fucking team in and out of that fucking organization. Once he got there, it was the fucking LeBron show. Why shouldn't it be? I mean, the guy's the fucking
Yep.
greatest player of all time.
Yep. Congrats to him too, breaking the record.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's jump to the Celsius top 3 teams on the rise. So let's go through top 3 teams right now on the rise.
I can get mine.
Go for it.
I think the Rangers are on the rise. I really think that teams like the Hurricanes will rise. I mean, I can't see them slowing down. I mean, it was a tough defeat, but I can't see them just slowing down like this. And big surprise for me, I think the Islanders are really on the
Love it.
rise. What about you?
Luke, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. I'd probably have to go with the Islanders for sure. I think the Bo Horvat pickup was huge. He's having a career year this year. I think he's got like 32 goals now. I think they found their goal scorer for this year, and he's going to put up some points for them, and they should do just fine with that. Then I'd have to say the Kings.
I like that.
I like the Kings. I really do. I think they're finally finding their way throughout out of that black hole that they've been in for a little bit. They got some really good guys. They picked up Kevin Fiala over the summer.
Mhm.
Great fucking addition there. I think that I'm a big chemistry guy, locker room guy. So, the locker room's got to be good. The team's got to be loving him. I think he's a good pickup. And I heard that Chikrin's kind of in talks with the Kings. And last night he was a healthy scratch. He was a health bomb last night. So
he's getting traded.
Yeah, he probably already got traded, but nothing's out yet. But yeah, I could see that being a big thing. And they're already in a playoff position right now, and I would love to see them back in the playoffs again. They're a great team. Next, I'd probably have to say, I don't know, the Devil. I'd probably have to go with the Devils. The Devils just, they keep pushing. They just keep getting better every game. Jack Hughes, he's just fucking disgusting.
He's injured right now.
His groove now. To build off of what you said earlier, Jared, you said, the injuries with him. I just think that last year, the past 2 years, he didn't find his groove. I think that's why he kind of got hurt. He was trying to, figure out what he can and cannot do on the ice in the NHL. It's a new league. It's a different type of speed. You got to kind of get used to that. I mean, you can kind of say the same thing with McDavid. I mean, his first year, he got fucking slammed into the boards. He broke his collarbone. But, he had more points than games that year, too. So, I mean, we knew what we were getting there. He was probably going to have like at least 100 points for your rookie year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely the Kings, definitely the Devils, and the Islanders for sure.
All right, I'm going to go Rangers. I think the Tarasenko trade, really, they're hot off the press. Love them. Then the other team, Oilers, they got hot. I mean, McDavid's almost at 100 points already, and they're like 55 games in, which is just absurd. He's nearly a 2-point-per-game player. And that brings us to team number 3, Colorado. They're back. Their injuries are coming back. I think they're pretty hot right now. I think both them and the Oilers, they've won 7 or 8 of the last 10. So I think they're legit. They're back and they're rising. So be aware.
I agree.
All right. So now we've got our top 5 players to watch. Not necessarily like the best players in the league, but just 5 to watch. So we could run through that real quick. And then our last segment will just be our Super Bowl picks. So, top 5 players to watch. Who are we looking at right now? Who's been fun to watch?
You want to start, Judge, or I got it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously, Connor McDavid. I'm pretty sure he's on pace for like 152 points right now.
I think so.
Yep.
I know Caleb and Seth Jones did a little gamble bet between themselves. I think Caleb had him over 150 points and Seth had him just below. So, I mean, Jesus Christ, you can't keep your eyes on the guy. Another guy to watch, I'd have to go with Bo Horvat.
Love it.
I'm giving the Islanders a lot of fucking props here, although I fucking hate them. But
we all
definitely a guy to watch. I'm really interested to see how he thrives throughout that team, and if he continues to produce. And not that he's been producing much this year, but Tarasenko, I think, now that he's with one of his boys who's an absolute fucking clown off the ice, I could actually get to that in a second. Panarin, Tarasenko, I believe he's has before he came to the Rangers, he had 14 points in 29 games, but I just don't think he was very happy over in St. Louis. I think they were kind of on the outs with him and ready to get rid of him ever since he kind of said that he wanted out 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, definitely someone to watch with a new team, new set of guys, and a lot of pushing forwards.
Awesome.
Want me to go?
Grant, want to go
All
for it?
First I had McDavid as well.
Oh, yeah,
I really-
yeah. Hold on.
Oh,
What
you-
did you say, Luke?
Did I do 3 guys?
I don't
Did
even
you
know.
4, I think.
I did Horvat, I did Tarasenko, and I did.
There was someone. Oh, you said McDavid first.
Oh yeah. Okay, then go ahead. My bad.
All right.
No, you're good.
I agree with McDavid idea. I think he's on 150 points. Like, there's no stopping that. One name I have is Matthew Tkachuk. I think he's turning it up off this deadline. Just won the MVP of the All-Star game. Guy's gonna be good. He started out hot off the All-Star break. I think he scored the first game in. Another name I have is David Pastrnak. Pasta. What a dog. He will have to get a contract this offseason. I mean, I can't imagine him leaving the Bruins, though. Once, like you said, I mean, it'd be very tough to leave. Next name, Eric Carlson. Looking great, as usual. He will probably get traded. I can't imagine him staying in the Sharks. I mean, they have no future ahead of them unless they rebuild with him gone. And then last is Mika to me. Mika Zibanejad. Guy's tearing it up right now. Goals in basically every game this season. I think he has like almost 50 points already. And that he's already breaking records. I hope he gets to 100, hopefully.
That'd be sick. Love it.
You, Pine?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I got 3 and then an honorable mention. So Kuzmenko, he's over in Vancouver. I know they're going through some stuff. He just got signed for way below he's worth. He's going to be a top 25 player in the next few years. That's probably a hot take, but he is sick. So good.
I think he's fucking amazing.
Yeah, he was.
So him.
Or he
my
is.
number two is a two-parter. It's a little duo. It's Alex Tuck and Tage Thompson. They're just so fun to watch. I mean, they're just tearing it up. My number 3 is gonna be Raphael Harvey-Pinard. This guy is a little grinder. He's 5'9". That's what he's listed as, which he's definitely shorter. And he's just a little grinder out there. It was really sick seeing him with Caulfield, but they called him up out of the AHL, and he's just a point-per-game player. And he just grinds. I think his first game, he comes in. I'm watching this game. He put 2 Genos in, and it was unreal to watch. Love to see the small guy thrive. And my honorable mentions to me, Keedle. How do I pronounce it? Philip Hedl. He is a wizard out there. Point per game also. I mean, this New York Rangers team is it's a fun year to watch. And
yeah, it is. It's clicking right now. We love this.
Love it. All right, last segment before we go. Super Bowl picks. We can just go through what team we think is going to win.
And score prediction.
Luke, you want to start us off?
I hate to say it, but I think the Eagles are going to win.
Score?
I fucking hate I can't stand her. She's so fucking annoying. I'm a big Devontae Smith guy. I love him. I mean, I had him on my fantasy team this year. He was shitty start, but
he picked it up.
Guy off the field too. I think that the score will be 28-24 Eagles.
I was about to say that, but the other way around. I had Chiefs 28-24 the other way. So that's my take.
I mean, this game all depends on Mahomes getting hurt. I think it is going to be high scoring, though. I think we're going to be in the 30s. I think like 35, like 30. I think they win by 3, so it'd be 35, 32?
Yo. Wow.
Chiefs.
Be a barn burner.
It'll be crazy, yeah.
I hope it's a good one tonight.
Yeah, as long as it's a good game. I mean, I don't like either team, so if I could have both lose, I mean, that'd be a win for me, but tough being a Giants fan here.
Yeah.
But Luke, I really appreciate you coming on. We really appreciate you coming on.
Yep.
So thanks so much, and we'll definitely have to have you on again soon.
Yeah, boys, it was good to be on it. I love this shit.
All right. Good luck in the ACHA. Catch a dub for us.
All right, well, I'll talk to you guys soon.
Will do.
You too.
Later, fellas.